Wednesday Night Live, 1 foot in 5D. I'm your host, Alara of Sirius. I am here with my good friend BradCGZ tonight. Hello, Brad. Hey, Brad, it's me, Alara. I'm live. I'm here. I'm not a cat. You're muted.
I swear this went a lot smoother a few minutes ago. I was like, yeah, I'm going to be distracted by stuff. This should go good. And then I literally was distracted by getting my foxhole. All of a sudden, like 3 different things started playing at different speeds. I apparently don't know how to mute anything.
Hello, peeps. How's it going, you guys? Are we good on all platforms? Are we live? Can I get a 5x5? Yeah, you like it? I was so inspired by that cat video. I could not stop laughing. You know, I had to do it, you guys. I didn't have a choice. I had to do it. So
that was pretty freaking awesome.
Should I leave it on for the whole show or take it off? Okay, I better take it off. All right.
And then and that dude, the dude freaking he looks like he's dying inside the whole time. And the guy don't even give him like a chance. Like the other lawyer, I guess it is, or no, the judge is like straight up mad.
Right? Like he's like, I got my assistant here. Where it's a filter, I think, and I'm here and I'm ready to carry on. I'm not a cat. Gold, homie, gold. Yeah. I loved it. So yeah,
it was
okay.
100%
I think I'm gonna have to get rid of the cat face. It just seems too weird. So let me see. Let me get rid of the cats. Let's see here. Whoops, I didn't mean to put that over there. All right, and I'm gonna move the chat over here.
That'd be great if you couldn't now.
But that probably won't work for me to move. Ooh, I can actually see the foxhole chat. This is pretty cool. There's a lot of firsts tonight. Hi, foxhole. How you doing out there? D Live, YouTube. Yeah. Okay. Let me get rid of the cat face, guys. Give me just a second.
Yeah, the foxhole chat is kicking ass for sure.
Right.
Definitely. I've been
What's
trying
up,
to put it on my screen.
Yeah, did you like my new nickname for you, Brad? The dreaded pirate Bradbeard?
This is about as long as it gets. It's when this is always the time when it starts getting itchy and I'm just like, all right, F this. I'm cutting it. And everyone's like, no, dude, grow it out. But I can't get past this. So maybe one day I'll be Bradbeard the pirate. Right. But for right now
You're not gonna grow it out? I thought you were gonna grow it out.
I could look like a stumble bum or one of those people who get like that bushy beard.
I don't know. I think you could rock the beard, Brad. Why not? You know, give it a try, right? Be like everybody else, Brad. Don't you want to blend in? No,
yeah,
I'm just
no.
playing.
This is definitely getting shaven very soon.
So for those of you that are unfamiliar with Brad, Brad is, we've known each other for quite a while. He does like absolutely amazing videos. He's had like several of his videos go viral. He was part of the Purge, so he's no longer over on the original place he was. But you can still find him lurking. And yeah, so I would like to know, and I'm sure the audience would like to know a little bit more. How did you go from being a sexy New York construction worker to a viral political, I don't know, whatever you want to call it? How did you go from that to the movement?
Well, I mean, I'm totally not blushing right now. I
lived in New York. I know what's up.
You know, I was always kind of like an eye for politics and stuff like that. I just kind of kept that world away from my YouTube. I used to like just uploading me and my friends hanging out or making skits or just my band. Mostly my band is why I made my YouTube and everything. And so I kind of kept that world away, and just on like Facebook or whatever, I would talk politics with my friends and stuff like that. And then what really amped me up is first, like, middle ground was Glenn Beck around 09, 2010 ish, whatever. And then like, he's the one who really started bringing some of the more behind the scenes stuff on my radar. And I used to love his show. And it's funny, if you look at my videos, they're a little bit like that, because I'm very visual and I like to put this graphs on the screen, at least my pre-made videos. And that's what he would do with the blackboard and all that stuff. And So I feel like subconsciously that's where I kind of got that from a little bit. But then he got fired, and I kind of started getting just sick of politics and all this stuff. So yada. 2015, Trump, someone who I've always admired, literally since the '90s, since I'm a kid. This is someone who I've definitely thought was a good dude and a cool guy and very smart and all these things. He started running, and this is someone who I knew from being in construction, was a good dude. You get to know the different owners. It gets around. It becomes a small world, the New York City construction world.
Right.
And you get to know who's like a shyster, who doesn't pay their benefits on time, who does this, who does that. And Trump was always known as the freaking salt of the earth.
Yeah.
And so on top of always thinking he's a cool guy, you know, I know for a fact from working in the business that he was. And so when he said he was going to run in 2012, I remember standing in the kitchen and I turned to the person next to me. I'm like, I don't care what he runs as I don't care if he runs as a Democrat or independent, whatever. We're voting for him. That's the guy. That is the guy this country needs. And then he didn't wind up running, and that was fine. But then in 2015, he did. Mm-hmm. And again, I said, this is the guy, but then it was for real. And he kept going. And so then I was on, you know, Facebook and all the time, you know, like the Republic of Kekistan and different groups and stuff. And I really started getting into trying to dispel a lot of the liberal garbage, a lot of the liberal false narratives, because you remember they started pretty early and they were already starting versus us for the 10 years leading up to that. Right. So I was already a little vested in the hypocrisy of some of the thing. And then so I started then really getting involved at the end of 2017, because I kind of got inspired to go on a lot of deep dives. Even though I do mini dives, I do like a lot of deep dives, and I started posting, making videos for Facebook groups and different stuff like that. And eventually in spring of 2018, I swear this is going somewhere, I'm almost done.
No, and I'm not, I just had to write. I was just, never mind.
No, not you. I mean for the audience.
No.
Probably before you guys all fall asleep. No. But
everybody's path is interesting, Brad. Come on now.
Spring of 2018, I was like, my YouTube had been kind of dormant for a while there. I was active in 2009 to 2012. Me and my friends had a lot of fun on there. I had about 6,000 subscribers from my music and all that stuff. But then from like 2012 to 2018, at that point, it had been pretty dormant. So even though I had 6,000 subscribers, none of them ever saw my videos. It was almost like a fake number in a weird way. And so I would just store things. Like I really like Star Wars. So from like 2015 to 2018, I was in a lot of Star Wars groups. I'd make like different montages and stuff, and I would just put them on my YouTube just to keep them, and they'd get 20 views. It was, even though, like I said, even though I had those subscribers, no one really was a dormant YouTube. So I always kept politics away from it. But since it had been so dormant for so long, I was like, you know what? I don't want to lose these videos, because once you make a video for Facebook and you put it in a Facebook group, it gets buried by the next day, and it's like, you know, you almost never see it again. So it was like, but in case something happens, I'm just going to start uploading some of these to my YouTube and kind of use it as a cloud. And literally the first thing I posted got a couple thousand views, and then I posted something else and that got a couple thousand views, and then I posted another video, and these were all videos that actually did get really popular on Facebook groups. So I think people were then trying to look, you know, sometimes, oh, is this also upload on YouTube? Yeah. I imagine that's why. And then it was like the third or fourth video literally just went crazy viral, hundreds of thousands of views and ramping up. And it was a walk away video where I had done a montage of like Maxine. I remember I did it on July 3rd, 2018, because then it read viral on the 4th of July. And I thought that was so freaking cool. And it was like Maxine and Robert De Niro and all these, and, you know, and Biden, I'll punch him in the face, and Johnny Depp. And it made this whole montage. And then I started talking about how, you know, how the Republicans were started by anti-slavery abolitionists and all this stuff, and the hypocrisy of how racist they are, which is kind of like a thing that I did in an argument. I had an argument with someone maybe like 2012 or something. And, you know, he was one of my liberal friends who was all like, oh, you know, Republicans are racist, all this stuff. And I remember writing him out this long Facebook note of just like, well, they were actually started and the Democrats started the KKK. And I went on this whole freaking thing for him on how freaking backwards he has it and all this stuff. And I remember, I think it was like Occupy Wall Street at that time. And was talking about that and how they're doing the same thing and it's all farce. So I always had that in the back of my mind. So I put that in that video, and that video went freaking crazy viral. And then it was off to the races. Then I was just like, well, I guess I'm going to be posting on my YouTube again for real. And
That's awesome.
And that was it. From I probably had, I mean, if you're going to consider a viral video over 100,000 views, I probably had 15 or 20 viral videos, with then, you know, another 30 or 40 in the 50,000, 60,000 range. Altogether, I had 10 million views. Wow. And 10 million views, 165,000 subscribers, and a thumbs up ratio of like 97% overall for the whole 12 years of my YouTube channel, which to me, I was always the most proud of that, because I feel like, or maybe that's normal, I don't know, because I guess people don't always watch videos they don't like, but yeah. I just always thought, I was like, man, how is it this high? I thought that I've always was most proud of that, honestly.
That's awesome.
But
all right, let me grab a couple super chats real quick. Above Duality. I don't know if I'm going to read it, Lieutenant. You know, he says that's 55. Who else? Money is energy, friends. Yeah, he's on one. So thank you, Above Duality. And Christina put a sticker in there too. Thank you, Christina. This is a challenge, keeping track of 3 chats. Boy, I'm having to evolve in this process quick. Let me thank a couple super chats from Space Force News on Sunday. Chris Hawkins, Suiterbug, and Christina Love. And special thank you to Spirish Malonen. I think it's Malonen now, for your Cash App donation. So, yeah. All right. So let me make sure I'm not missing any other ones. Okay. So, yeah, you do incredible videos. I can't really say enough about your work. It's super incredible. Like, you've literally documented a lot of this movement, and, you know, you're kind of a historical, I don't even know what the word for it would be. Like, you've just documented and you do incredible videos. You're an incredible editor. I can't say enough. Anyway, and he's got a couple live shows that if you guys have never seen him, he does. I don't know can you tell him what your schedule is now? Because I know it's evolving and changing like mine. So
I've been doing like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern. Although I might just go back to I might eventually just do one of those days, maybe Tuesday, just so I can go back to making pre-made videos as well. But then on Thursday mornings, you see Methods is in the Foxhole chat. I co-host on the Methods to Madness at 2:30 Eastern. Yeah. And that's, you can find that right on Foxhole and DLive, of course. And then Friday nights, as a lot of you probably know, I do the freaking Friday night show with Craig. We've been doing it for a while now. It's at 9 p.m. Eastern, and it's a lot of fun. And, you know, those two, it's pretty cool going back to back, doing the show with Methods and then doing the show with Craig. Is 2 people who I really respect and really enjoy working with. So that's how it's a nice way to end the weekend. But again, then I do my own show during the week.
I love your shows. Your shows are fantastic. And I'm not just saying that because you're my friend. Like, your shows really are that good. So, hey, remember when we used to do MAGA movie night? It only lasted for like 3 weeks, but that was so much fun.
Yeah, I know. We did MAGA movie night for 3 weeks, and then I went into the freaking streaming laws of DLive, and literally the very first line says, "Do not show a freaking copyrighted movie that is illegal." It was like a whole paragraph worth. I was just like, I don't know if we should do this anymore. You know, it's like I just started building that was when I was like just starting to rebuild everything. But yeah, it was fun though. We had a lot of fun.
Dude, that was so much fun.
They Live.
Well, remember the night we watched They Live? That was next. I'd never seen They Live, and that was just so. I think it was fun because I had never seen it. You know what I mean? And I was like,
me either. Yeah.
Whoa. Oh yeah, you'd never seen it too, huh? Who did we watch it with? Was it Blue Eyes or was it Foil we watched it with?
No, that one was with Foil. And I think she had seen it, definitely. And
yeah, because she was trolling us. Yeah, she was trolling us the whole time. I remember. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we watched The Evil Dead 3. I forget the real name of that. And then we watched
Army of Darkness.
Army of Darkness, yes. And then we watched They Live. And then the next one we watched the
Matrix.
Oh, which one? V for Vendetta.
Oh, we did it 4 times. Didn't we do Matrix too? Or no?
We did, yeah, and the Matrix.
Yeah, we did it 4 times.
And right, and one of them, Blue Eyes, was our co-host, and that was cool. We were gonna have co-hosts, but again, it's the best laid plans, and definitely maybe one day on some stream we can get it back because that was a lot of fun.
Hey, Blue Eyes, I think I saw you out there earlier. Hi, Fearless, The Great Conspiracy. Thank you, UFO Mark. That's funny. I didn't clue in that Restream writes with the description of what the little sticker is. So for a while I was reading the super chats and I was like, yeah, para character stretching his arm forward, raising his thumb up, right? Like I didn't clue in on that.
Sometimes it's funny, when you see it on the come up on the description and you're like, what? But yeah, no, obviously Loyal the Foil I saw in the chat. And then I also, Blue Eyes was also in the YouTube chat and she said that she's working on a new song. So that would be cool to keep an eye out for.
Awesome. So yeah,
Always
you're a musician too.
Awesome stuff.
Tell us about your musician background. I know you used to play guitar and you've uploaded stuff, right? Of like your I don't know. You tell us if I give the description.
Actually, yeah. Well, speaking of which, the last song I uploaded here on my thing was a collaboration with Blue Eyes. And she was, I had a song that I had written for like the movement and just about America. Listen, I don't know if you guys noticed, I really like this place. And so she was gracious enough to put down keyboards and a backup track, and she put it together. I just have my acoustic guitar. I'm not good with that stuff. She put that all together and it was cool. And then we did a music stream where then we debuted at the end, and that was my latest one. But before that, that's how I started my channel, because I was always in like metal bands and stuff like that. And I would make music videos and stuff and put us all jamming. And I'd put music videos and basically then me playing Sublime songs on my acoustic guitar. That was the bulk of my channel before anything. And then my buddies, then we started making like skits and having fun. But
I used to do that in junior high school.
Was awesome.
I remember that. You could ask my family this. I ran around with a video camera. So I started out the early part of my life in Hollywood, right? But ever since I was a little kid, ever since I can remember, I was running around with a video camera. I used to drive my father insane with the video camera. And I would remake commercials and movies, and I would have my friends act in them and stuff. I'd be like, no, you're doing this, you're doing that. Yeah, and I would still wish I had these tapes that I used to make. But yeah, it was a lot of fun,
And you'd have to actually stop the video camera and then go film the next scene and make sure it was like, because obviously not going to splice VHS. But yeah, no, that is definitely,
see guys,
that was a lot of fun.
I was always the commander. It just changed form, but that was always the deal. So yeah, let's see.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so are you going to get Orange Man band together or what?
Yeah,
clearly can't.
So that I mean, that seemed like an awesome idea, and then I made the group chat, and so far I don't know, I haven't heard too much.
I don't have a Twitter account.
That could be definitely it could be fun. I would just, it's fun to just put some guitar work down on anything for my end. So obviously
you got to get Ben Chastain. He's a really good musician and he's fun. Like us.
What does he play?
He plays guitar. I've listened to him play acoustic guitar and stuff. I don't know what else he plays. It wouldn't surprise me if he played other instruments. But yeah, Ben's.
When you guys
and he lives right there by you too. So I'm just putting it out there.
I've often wondered, like, oh man, I should I should go try and hang out with the Edge of Wonder dudes, because I know they I think they stream right from Manhattan. God literally could be there within a half hour. But when you guys went to ECETI, did he bring his guitar? Like, if you play guitar and you go somewhere like that, you have to bring your acoustic guitar. It's like required by law. Yeah. So.
Yeah, we have so much fun at ECETI. Like, no lie. Like, we have so much fun up there. I'm sure you hear us all talk about it. Us people that go up there, we love it. We have so much fun. Like, I
remember the first time I ever heard of ECETI was the live stream that you did where all of you were there. It was like you were sitting at like a table and different people were jumping in with
an
you.
Alien.
Maybe it was an alien. I forget. But I want to say over the summer.
Yeah.
Maybe almost a year ago, right?
July.
Probably like June or something. July. Okay.
Yeah. I was doing that live stream and Kate put a dinosaur head on and started dancing and doing
that's
this.
Right. Yes,
back.
Kate was there. And yeah, so
times.
That's the first time I ever heard about ECETI. And I love all that stuff. I definitely love different UFO and ancient alien type things. And so it's funny to me. I'm sure I must have seen it on shows before and it just never really sank in 100% what it was. Okay.
They don't put ECETI on mainstream shows. They don't talk about it. They've done everything they can to squash that place. Yeah.
That's why. Because I remember watching you guys and you're talking about it. I'm like, how the frig? Because I mean, literally, I just love that stuff. I'm like, how the frig if I not heard of this place? Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
That's why. I mean, if you go to James's website, you go to James Gilliland's website, which if somebody could put the link to his website in the chat, that'd be cool. Just go to his website. As it trips me out, more people haven't done this. Like, there's videos of, I mean, all you got to do is sit out there with your camera and you're going to capture ships on tape. You know what I mean? He's got several uploads right there that clearly they power up and stuff. Like, you'll talk to them and they'll be like, you'll just be like, hi guy. It's very hard to relay how it goes, but you'll just, if we're sitting out there like laughing with each other and having fun, just kind of in our heart space being together, and they know we're there for them, you know, they'll interact with us. They'll start powering up their ships, and like everybody will be like, whoa. And it's just, it's like Disneyland, but with UFOs, you know? It's cool.
That is so freaking awesome. And you said there's like a mountain there, right? That they go up and they're around the mountain and stuff.
Yeah, I think they live. I think some of them live in that mountain because they constantly are popping up right on that mountain. Like they go into it, like they phase out, or however they do it. They phase in. Like some of them, like it's either an entrance or a portal, or I don't know what it is. But the mountain is something. Clearly, it's something. You know.
Yeah, freaking you know what? I think a lot of them have bases underground and in mountains. And especially you always hear about a lot of sightings always are coming from the water. So to me, there's definitely stuff under the sea, and I think it's now maybe not necessarily under the sea, or I guess it could be as well, but there's something where they're be coming out of lakes and stuff like this, or out of the ocean. So I think also there's possibly could be hollowed out mountains. There's one mountain I know called Mount Shasta that's supposed to have some mystical things about it. And I believe that is out in California, if I'm not mistaken, or possibly not Portland, whatever, Oregon. Yeah. But things like that, where I think absolutely, if you had this technology, right? Obviously they have the technology to build and terraform whatever they want. That would be the most viable thing, something that's either way high up or way below, so you can use that and you don't have to be always so visible to everyone. So I would imagine they might even have a base right in that. Maybe that might even be one of the main reasons why they don't push ESETI a lot, you know.
If I was gonna hide, I'd hide in our oceans. Plain and simple. Hey, I know you follow. You're a researcher. You've seen some of the underground bases in the sea. The pictures of them, like when people find them, and the ones that move around, things that just. I miss what's his name? Remember Secure Team 10, his channel. Man, I used to love that channel. I mean,
you know, I don't know that channel, but I posted a thing about Antarctica.
Yeah.
And it passed something that looked like, if you typed in certain coordinates, looking like a spaceship, and I had at least 3 or 4 comments were like, all right, SEAL Team 10, or what is it, I don't know, Secure Team 10 and
SEAL Team 10.
And I remember thinking like, and I tried to look it up and I couldn't find the page. So
you know, there's something to that water thing you were talking about, because David Paulides, you know, missing 411, a lot of these places where these people pop up missing, right? He always says it's always by rocks, like granite rocks and water. So maybe there's some element of something to do with stargates that has to do with, I mean, my theory is that some of those missing people, I mean, I think there's different ways that they turn up missing like that. And I think our national parks are clearly tied to something sinister going on underground. Right. But I think
a lot of people disappear in the bigger national parks. That's definitely a thing, whether it's nefarious or not, for whatever reason.
Yep. Yeah, and if you put the map of the underground bases over top of the missing people, it lines up perfectly. So, what are they bringing them through stargates, which is is the water and the rocks somehow necessary to that? I don't know, but I think thank God for Paulides. He's doing important work bringing attention to that. You know, in the 80s, we just looked at the milk cartons. We thought that was normal for just all these kids to just go missing. I thought that. I don't know about you. Did you? I thought that was normal. Yeah. Now I understand that it's not. Like, it's not
just normal. Like kids go missing from time to time. You know, I mean, that was one of the biggest things that really shocked me back in 2017 when I was inspired to go look into that sort of stuff. When I saw just how many kids went missing, it was like gut wrenching. Like it was like, you know, when you just get that sick feeling, like you're on a roller coaster, but not the good kind. That was really chilling. So I think there was something like 800,000 children in the United States go missing every year. And then you look, and a lot of them are runaways that do come back, but it's something like realistically 400,000 that just disappear and never come back. And I was like, what the freak, dude? That's a lot. How is that? That should be every lead story every single night should be talking about 10 to 50 children.
And the fact that they don't talk about it tells you everything you need to know. You know what I mean?
That is chilling. Absolutely.
There's some kind of grand conspiracy going on this planet. I'm certain of it.
Right. Yeah, I definitely have a whole bunch of different theories, which a lot of you know a lot of my theories, but I also think it could be something. I don't know. We saw. I don't know. So it sounds weird to say, but like, are we some sort of farm for ETs in a weird way? And maybe not necessarily just food, but different ways of food. I don't know.
Just Earth altogether, Brad. Look at Earth altogether. Look how many life forms are here. It's weird. Okay, like this place is like even comparatively speaking. Let's say that the pictures we are shown of Mars are real. It doesn't seem to be full of life the way that this place is, right? This place almost seems like it is a library of life forms. Like look at our animals. Look at the nano chameleon. Did you see that on Space Force News? I don't know if you were there last week or not.
Yeah, I said that it looked like it was getting ready to tell you how much you could save by switching to Geico. But
that's right. I thought I saw you there, man. But look at all the life forms. You know, like.
And there's so many. Didn't you say? Isn't there a number you said that they are fully aware that they haven't found yet?
What do you mean, of kids or
no, of different life forms? I don't know if I read it somewhere or if you said it on that show.
I might have.
That they said something like there's still 100,000 life forms or something, a species that they theorize they still haven't.
I think identified. I think that resonates. This is a genetic farm of some kind. I think so, and that's why they all hide from us. I think. They hide for there's got to be some kind of, and maybe multiple reasons why they hide from us, but I'm thinking because there's maybe not on the benevolent side, but on the malevolent side there's an agenda, clearly, or they wouldn't be hiding.
Definitely could. What do you think? Elise Brown brings up a good point. Earth is a library of genes, kind of like a Noah's Ark type thing. I wonder.
That's what I
think.
Or
like how they store the seeds up in Canada in the under the permafrost. That could be something like that. I mean, sometimes I think, what if we lived on Mars for a while until that started going out of the Goldilocks zone, and then we had a hop to Earth, which was very hot and probably at the time, and now we're in this perfect Goldilocks zone. And what if, a million years from now, we're going to have to hop over to Venus eventually, and then Earth will be just this kind of depleted sand planet like how Mars is. Sometimes I wonder if that's a possibility. I think that could be cool.
I think maybe that there's different dimensions and layers, and I think I think David Icke's onto this really well. We only perceive a very limited amount, right? So maybe a lot of these life forms out there and stuff, not that they let us see what's out there anyways, they're completely controlling the narrative, but if we wouldn't be able to see them because their frequency of light is outside what we can see, right? So this would be like the concept of the different densities and dimensions. So maybe some of these planets are in a different dimension, density, whatever. They're not perceivable by us and our tech, right?
That there could be other ones in front of us that we don't see. I feel like I think it's definitely possible. I remember years ago I used to look into Nibiru a lot, and they would say how the different pull, it seemed like there was a planet that we couldn't see, and or maybe even a binary star, because some people have theorized that the sun is part of a binary star system, but I would tend to think, but there are people who say that they feel like orbit-wise, it seems like there might be another planet whose orbit is so crazy far that we just can't see it, and every now and then it'll come through. The people have speculated it's called a Nibiru. I'm sure you've heard of that.
Yeah.
But so that could be a thing too, where they're perceiving things and maybe we can't see it because it is just on a different plane, and we only see a certain amount of the light spectrum. A tiny little fraction of the light spectrum is visible to us.
Yep.
So who knows?
I mean, just look at your pets. You have your pug, right? I love your pug. But I'm sure your pug perceives things in the room that you don't, that you can't see, right?
Right.
So clearly, if your pug can do that, it's a big universe out there, right?
And they say like different, definitely cats, especially, they feel like cats can pick up on different energetic life forms that are in the room. That's a big thing that I've read. And they also young children. So what
Yep.
sometimes I wonder is, you grow up as a kid, right? And everyone just tells you what you can't do. As you grow, and say, "Oh, don't do that. Oh no, you hurt yourself." Or watch. "Oh, don't do this. Don't do it." And of course, it's a lot of it is for safety, and it's totally fine, and it needs to happen. But it's also like you're just slowly stifling, and it's a fine line because you just don't want your kid out of control either. But as far as just, you kind of learn your limitations, and I think we have so less limitations than we realize. And the fact that I think also too, it's not that we're stifling it, it's that there's lost knowledge that we're not learning. Where back in the day, people would learn how to use these other senses, and possibly even what's it, the appendix or the gallbladder, I forget, one of them that we don't use. I think that's probably, I suspect that's what was probably used for distort chi and different things that we could probably do these things, but it's lost arts. And that's why kids, I feel like they say kids can sense ghosts and stuff like that, because they haven't learned not to do it. They don't know what they can't do.
They haven't been programmed by us yet.
Right. Exactly. So they're completely open. And there was this one story. This is a story from a story, but it was from my cousin, and it was told by his really good friend. And it gives me chills to this day. And basically the story was, he had brought, and I know his friend too, and I could only imagine it's probably bugged him out beyond belief. So he comes in and he gives his daughter like a glass of milk or something like that, and she goes, "Oh, Daddy, can I have another one?" And he's like, "All right, sure." And he gets another one, and he goes, "Who's this for?" And he goes, "Oh, that's for my friend." I was like, "What?" And she points to the ceiling and goes, "Yeah, she likes to drink milk too, but she's really angry right now." He goes like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, she's flying around all angry." And she literally, and I'm even getting chills telling you that. And this is a story I heard like 15 years ago. Yeah. And this is like the kid, I'm not even doing a good job. Whatever it was so obvious that this kid was literally watching something fly around angrily around the room. And so it's just, they can pick up on stuff, dude. There's something up to it. There's something with kids.
The law of one says that, I can't remember verbatim right now, but something to say, well, we're changing dimensions right now. We're changing densities. So I understand densities and dimensions to be two different things, right? But we're shifting out of third density, which is physical life like we know it, into fourth density, right? And we're becoming telepathic and all this. Well, they say that these kids that are born now in our time right now, that they're born with fourth density bodies and potentiation, right? So they have more activated strands of DNA than we do. They can perceive beyond the veil. Like, they come in this way, as when we came in, there was a complete veil for us, because, you know what I mean? But something about the timing, and I don't have it all understood or worked out, but something about the timing where these kids, these kids can completely perceive, and that's why I pay attention. It's funny, Tessa was saying this a minute ago. She was like, if I see a kid staring off at the distance talking to an imaginary friend, I always ask them who they're talking to and what's going on, because she's absolutely right. These kids can perceive things that we cannot. I would pay extra attention to what you see the little kids doing nowadays. The younger, the better. They're going to be more tuned in than any of us are. We have to all deprogram and seek to evolve, in my estimation. The kids are just coming in like already ready to roll,
They're definitely, yeah. And like you said, I like that you put that lift in the veil. Definitely the seeker must have ripped the veil open for any sort of truth fans out there. There's probably one person who might get that reference, but
I didn't get it. I miss it, and I'm a sci-fi freak too. Yeah.
It's a book series, a really long book series, where I only read the first one, but the first book's like literally 1,000 friggin' pages, and then the second book was 1,200 pages, and I got about 100 in. I was like, how many books are there? And I looked it up. It was like 20. I'm like, all right, I think I'm done. But it was really good. It's a really good Wizard's First Rule sort of truth series. If you like reading, to me, I am a slow reader, so I love reading. But if the task ahead of me is 50,000 pages, I got to put that aside. But definitely, it's a really cool fantasy, like Lord of the Rings style book series. Anyway,
okay, so
it's random, but he rips the veil open, and then everyone, from like all the people get to see the real world and the dark world down below and stuff start coming through, and it's just a mess.
What's the most downplayed or not well known conspiracy, in your opinion?
In my opinion, man, I mean, they're also out in the open now. It's been a wild few years, huh? Man, it's weird. I feel like some of the ones that used to be more popular, like the extraterrestrial ones, have been kind of pushed on the back burner, while a lot of more tangible ones that we could really touch and feel and get serious evidence have been coming out. But I always kind of liked the idea of Earth possibly being hollow.
Thank you, Christina Love, for your super chat. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that the one that I used to like that I haven't looked into a long time, and I don't have too much sauce on it anyway, but there was some reports years ago where they said people at the North Pole, there's a hole in the North Pole apparently where they can see ships going in, and it's just all a matter of what you believe. But then there's also the Russian Siberian hellhole where they apparently were drilling down, and it kind of, they felt like they heard human screams eventually, that they were trying to drill to the core. So it's weird, because then you read about things like Dante's Inferno with 7 layers of hell and going underneath the earth to underground bases, technically, or hell, or it could be conceived if it could be a base that they're taking people down who are bad. And it's weird, like detention centers almost, if you want to look at it like a real, what if this was actually based on a real thing? There could be stuff. I think part of the earth, if not on purpose, maybe whatever, could be hollowed out. But again, that's something that I don't think is too popular, and I certainly kind of crap on flat earth a lot. So as far as shape of the earth theories, I really don't have a leg to stand on.
Right.
So I should probably shut up.
The only way I can really wrap my mind around that whole thing, we're having the great flat earth debate on Conspiracy Couch February 18th, and we're going to have some flat earth OGs on. So that's going to be fun. So I probably shouldn't go in, but I don't know. I think that this is largely a simulation, depends on your perspective, but it's definitely a projection of consciousness, right? So I think on some level, if you believe whatever you believe, then that's what's going to appear in your reality, right? So I think on some level, like, that's why I don't really tend to, I'm just not an argumentative person anyway. I don't really care if you see it my way, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, right. And I appreciate other perspectives, but I really do believe that. Like, if you believe something, you really believe it, then maybe that is the way it appears in your world. I don't know. I can't see through your eyes. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Maybe
I don't understand.
Maybe that's why people, are get so passionate about it, because they feel like maybe that's a good point. Yeah, definitely. You can project into that. I don't know. I kind of think it's round, but I get what you're saying. I don't think it matters.
I think it's round, and the reason there's a big conspiracy is because there's a secret space program. I mean, clearly that's what I believe. I mean, it's what I talk about all the time. But, I'm just trying to, I guess, wrap my mind around the perspective of others, right? And what makes them feel passionately about what they believe, even though it's something completely different than what I know to be reality, or, whatever. Not everybody has seen spaceships like I have, right? And I don't even bother trying. I mean, I talk about this stuff, but I don't bother trying to convince them that this stuff is real, because I know that until you have this sort of life-altering experience in that way, I don't know that I would have believed the secret space program existed with all the advanced technology if I didn't see it. So I try to understand, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Like, because it's kind of, what are the odds everyone's going to have an actual firsthand encounter like you? So it's got to be frustrating on some hand, trying to talk to some people and just have them have faith. But I don't know. I think do you think you would have believed if you didn't have that experience?
No. I was completely asleep in the Matrix. Like, I was completely, but maybe that's okay. And this kind of takes us where I'd like to go next with this conversation. Okay. So that experience obviously kind of catapulted my consciousness, right? It put me on another level. I mean, without a doubt it did. Right. And it made me understand and be open to information like the secret space program, information I would never have been open to right before. So this brings me to kind of something we were talking about earlier. So there's this weird energy going on lately, right? A lot of us have been through this darkness lately of watching, you know, a new administration take over and what's really going on and blah, 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 right? Something came to me the other day that I think is really profound and really deep. And I just thought I would share it with everybody and get your perspective on it too. So I've really been going in a lot lately because I've stopped looking out there, and I'm going to explain to you why. Because, okay, I've been hashtagging like we are the revolution for a long time. And I've always like understand that we're the ones that are going to change things, right? We were the ones that were paying attention. We're the ones that woke up for whatever reason, for however you woke up. We're the ones that woke up and started doing something, right? So it came to my perspective. We have this vision and this visual of the alliance, right? The alliance, the white hat alliance, right? There's this alliance out there, white hats, this group, and they're working with Mr. T, and they're doing this, and they're going to fix things and blah. So if everything is a projection of consciousness, like we were just talking about, right? Then that would mean, what if the alliance is our own projection? We're the alliance, right?
Yeah, you know, well, I kind of, man, they see that could be a lot of kind of like by becoming part of it or believing in it, we become the very thing that we wish to exist.
Right. And so I think for a number of years, and I can speak for myself, I've been looking out there. I've been looking out there in the world for signs of this group that's going to do it and change everything. Meanwhile, we've all been doing stuff to change things, right? We've all been trying to wake others up, and we've been doing this and that. And it just came into this perception of that the alliance is not out there, you guys. We are the alliance, right? Like maybe an earlier version, but until we wake up to this fact, like, and maybe that's what this is for right now, is to wake us up to this, that's what we are. So we'll take our power back and do what we were always supposed to do, which is change things, or at least start to lead the way.
I like that. You know what? Because that really parallels something that I felt on a more practical manner. I always felt like people talk about the plan. We're like, dude, like we're the plan. The plan was to wake us up and let us loose on the earth to freaking spread information and grow this movement and do all this stuff. And basically what you're saying is kind of like the spiritual half of that. So I could totally see the two very much working together. And yeah, I think that's very plausible. Absolutely.
We're the alliance waking up to what we are. We have no choice now. We apparently don't have anything we can lean on out there, right? So we're kind of being forced to, I don't know, and maybe that could be good because we need to become empowered and we need to change our world, you know? And
right. 100%. And actually the chat, Blue Eyes is asking, have you read the Majestic docs? I know I haven't, but so many people have told me to. And I feel like lot of the stuff you're talking about, the Majestic 12 documents, and it's a lot of them they actually talk about 2021. I have a good buddy of mine who was trying to run me through them one time. And he was saying that come summer 2021, some agreement where ETs won't interfere with Earth is up. And so that if there is going to be contact, it's probably going to happen in fall of 2021 or in 2022. But that's the very lightest part of it. I think the documents, and I guess the chat can probably speak a lot more to this than I can, because I only have a very brief secondhand knowledge of them, is just the different kind of like stuff you've said over time about the law of one, different powers that we have, different things about different truths about humanity and energetic and spiritual kind of threads that that have been hidden from us that are very useful and we probably should know more about.
Yeah, I mean this is a kind of a deep topic, but like, I mean, I'm looking back at the last few years, like, you know, this has been my life, you know, and I can never go back. you know, like
Yeah.
it's we got to keep it, we got to adapt and move, you know, we got to keep it pushing, and we got to keep loving each other, you know, and we got to keep figuring out how we can move forward and create change, you know what I mean? But I know on a spiritual deep like level that it's me. I have to change. Like, it's not out there. Like, I have to continue doing what I feel is right and looking at me, and the ripple effect goes out from there, and then the world, and then things out there change, right? Like the 100th monkey effect.
Right.
I was listening to Alex Collier the other day. Have you ever listened to him?
No, the name does sound somewhat familiar, but I haven't heard of him.
I'm trying to remember. He said a few things that were along these lines that were really deep about you know, us affecting the change, and we've got to be this change, and you know, that
The
he's
change you want to see in the world.
yeah,
I always like that.
he's in contact with an ET group. He has been his whole life, I guess, and they've taught him a lot about like our history and about you know, the process of evolving, you know, from third density to fourth and etc. And I don't know, there's some profound stuff I heard in there that kind of was in alignment with what I just brought up, and I thought be interesting if this, you know.
Right. Like kind of a different, well, I like that. That sounds a lot like kind of consciousness and projecting astral consciousness. And maybe will that be, are you saying like that'll be a more prominent feature in fourth density? Do you think that's something
I
that
mean,
would be more featured?
we're gonna, I guess, apparently, I mean, allegedly, our DNA is gonna continue as long as we're seeking and serving others. Like, our DNA will continue to change, will become telepathic. But with, you know, with those, I mean, from my estimation, with those that are on the same path of serving others, you know?
Right. Well, I think you could definitely have connection. Dude, there's something to it. And I don't know if the Schumann resonance is involved. And, you know, me, I try to always think like very practical. What's the practical explanation? But I mean, I think of the spiritual stuff is real, but how does it work? Because you can feel like connected to people, and you know, even just from different areas of the world, or, you know, if you're friends, there's people who are like twins, right? And they could be living in different parts of the country, but there's been stories of where maybe one of the twins like got their kneecap hurt or something, and the other one feels a pain in their kneecap, or different things. Like we're more connected than we realize, you know, like beyond the deep. And definitely, you know, can feel like the fires in all of our souls just coming together, even just for this movement. And for one example, I feel very connected to a lot of the people in this movement, more than just as friends. You know?
Was just going to say that the moment you came, we were thinking this literally the same thing at the same time. I love these people. Like, I'm so connected. Like, maybe this is the beginning of that forming, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think it could definitely be the beginnings of all that. And again, definitely, how does it happen though? Like, what's the practicality? Are we connected through the Schumann resonance when it's resonating high? I would love someone to study stuff like that.
We're connected through consciousness. We're connected through the unified field, basically. I mean, from my understanding, you know, but how does that turn into telepathy from being to being? I don't know. I wish we had some ETs down here that could teach us, you know. But have you noticed that have you noticed
maybe we do though?
Well, right. Like people like Alex Collier, right? I mean, there's a lot of people on this planet that have had contact with ETs. They haven't showed up in mass, but they've picked out individuals and taught them. We just have to listen. We just have to pay attention, right?
Right.
Take what resonates, leave what does not.
I like that. What if there's ones that look like us too? You know, there could be people seeding information that look just like us, and they just happen to be from a more advanced place in the universe. I'm sure there are species across the universe that look like similar species here, or, you know, what they say, the tall blondes, right? They literally look human, allegedly, if you believe in that sort of stuff, and different things like that. And there could be people, even Tesla used to say, I think straight up claimed that he felt like something was helping him seed information, that he felt like something otherworldly was helping him make a lot of these connections that he was making, whether he was being metaphorical or not. From what I've read, it doesn't sound like he was trying to be metaphorical.
No, he was being serious. If you really listen to the things where he discussed it, he said openly, he goes, I'm not the one coming up with this stuff. I literally get, like, something happens in my brain. I get, like, these pains. And then all of a sudden I get this download of this technology. You know what I mean? So where was that coming from to Tesla? I don't know. You know what I mean? And they suppressed him. But I think that, you know, there's a unified field that we can all tap into. It's just kind of your level of whatever. I don't know. I wish that, you know, it's mathematically impossible for there not to be life all over the place. There's just too many planets and too many stars it's impossible.
I know. It would be the only thing that would be out of the ordinary, that would be so crazy out of the ordinary, if we were the only planet with life.
Exactly.
That would be so insane. It's just unconscionable.
And I'll bet you a lot of them are human beings, just like us. Maybe look a little bit different. Maybe look the same. Who knows? Maybe there's some of them here and they blend in because they look just like us and we wouldn't know any different.
That's kind of how I feel. I feel there's been definitely people who have, with that same thing, who have seeded information or come up with discoveries and probably come here and live like kings then for the rest of their lives. But it would be, I don't know. Then sometimes I wonder too, is would you want to go to a more primitive place? Like you can say, like, if we went to some primitive half tribe and then we had all this technology and they treat us like a king, that would be cool. But then you also wouldn't be able to watch a movie ever again, or, you know, do a lot of the things that we're accustomed to that we do enjoy. So it would, on one hand, it would be cool to go get rich and live like a king if you went to, say, an Earth from a different advanced planet and see some information and became famous and all this stuff. But it could be weird too, giving up all that other stuff. So maybe they do it and then they dip, or I don't know. I just feel like I feel like information has been seeded to us a lot over the years.
Ruby Ridge Bar brought up Avatar, you know, so this would make sense to me. I gotta see that. On the conspiracy note, this would make sense to me. So we're all souls, we're all these spiritual beings, right, that exist all over the universe, God's creation, right? So yes. So we just jump into these avatars for a while to have an experience, right? I mean, right. It makes sense.
It's kind of like an avatar. That is a great point.
And they do seed us with the truth with movies, but then it makes sense why everybody's hiding from us. So if we're supposed to have this experience where we don't know about anybody else,
right?
Think about it. Then the souls would jump into avatars, and there would be some kind of shield or veil where they couldn't perceive anything before that, or what's out there around them. You'd limit their frequency of light spectrum they can perceive in, right? So they can have some sort of, I know for me, right, all the painful things I've been to, it evolved my spirit. It catapulted it. And it's funny because Alex Collier was saying that too. However far you get stuck in the darkness, it will catapult you into the light to that same distance the other way, right?
Okay. Like a kind of like a slingshot. The further back you pull it, the further it'll go.
So we come down to this super dark planet where we don't know there's any other life. We don't know what's going on. We're not even taught about God or any of that, right? And we have this super dark experience, and we got to figure out, we don't think we have any friends out there. It's lonely. Maybe that's what catapults us into the light. Thank you, Chris Hawkins. Would it be weird to want to go somewhere worse to appreciate what we have here way more better? No, I don't think so. What do you think, Brad?
I mean, I think that if you could know that you'd be able to come back, I think that would be great. I think that would be a great experience for sure. I think that on just a very practical level, when people complain about this country, I'm like, dude, go live in Haiti for a freaking month and a half. Like, what do you mean you're complaining about America? I just think some people, they just don't get it. I can't even understand why you would. They hate this place. They've been taught. I understand they've been propagandized to do it. But yeah, I think there are a lot of people who definitely need a trip to certain places of the planet to come back and appreciate this place for sure.
Maybe I mean, there's obviously ghosts and stuff, right? So maybe we leave when this body exterminates, our soul beingness leaves and goes back wherever it goes. I don't know where the souls live. I mean, I'm just a human in third density, but maybe that's it. Well, I mean, even the secret space program whistleblowers say that. You know that. They say that when they clone people, they take their essence or their soul out of one and they stick it into another. When that clone gets killed, that soul hones back to its original body. Isn't that wild?
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I never heard that part of it, but I heard Donald Marshall talking about the machines where they can kind of basically download a copy of your brain and then your essence, your energetic essence, and over. I still get on the fence sometimes, like how much I believe of that or not, but it's really, when you think about it, it's not that far-fetched that you could practically do something like that. It's not. This is a computer that uses energetic synapses. Basically,
Electrical
if you
pulses.
think of the way computers work, and then if you think of the way our brains work, we should be able to do so much more than we can do. We should be able to, just like Bluetooth, communicate without talking or link into things. So we're so much more powerful than a Bluetooth system. So it's just a matter of how we use it.
We only use 10% of our brain, Brad. Clearly, there's something wrong with that. I'm telling you, it's like our DNA is shut off on purpose. But once we figure out how to turn it on,
there's definitely been some studies that feel like maybe it's not exactly 10%, that we do use more, but we don't use nearly as much. I don't think. I think it's that we don't fill up the different areas. I don't know, but we're definitely missing out on so much. We are.
If we weren't stressed out about bills and manipulated and eating GMO foods and getting sprayed all day long with heavy metals and stuff, imagine what we could become as a civilization, right? Like, imagine how we could, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, it'd be amazing if, that's why we need to start building these new Earth communities with new Earth schools and we just need to start, like, being the change. Like, I don't know. It's just hitting me like a ton of bricks. Like, we just got to start being we got to create our new world. And then if who wants to stay in that system, they can stay in it. If they're buying into it and they're believing in it, they're cool with it, and that's the path they want to take, and they don't want to wake up, cool, they can do that. That everybody's got free will. But we need to start building what we believe should be our future as humanity, right? Like, they're hiding all this tech from us. It's so evil, you know?
Right. And I think that's part of it seems to me like, because sometimes I think like, man, why are they always knocking us down? And they're making these policies that you got to know right off the bat are going to only hold humanity back. But I think it's because I think they need us distracted and all this stuff because they don't want us reaching an intellectual or spiritual enlightenment spot. Because you think about this, like, what would you be doing? What should we be doing then, right? Say we weren't working 5 days a week, 40 to 60 hours a week, like we've all done for most of our lives. Say you weren't doing that, what would you be doing? And then I have a lot of hobbies. I'm sure you have hobbies. I'd be playing my guitar. I'd be doing different things. But really, you would also have time to let your mind relax and ponder the things that we're pondering right now, which really is what brings about figuring out the world and kind of coming to different conclusions and philosophy. Like back in the day, especially in ancient Greece and Rome, and there used to be philosophers who would sit around all day and think about the world and ponder ideas. And this was their whole life. There's not a lot of that too much anymore. And I think it's because on purpose, I think they want us bogged down and weighted down with bills. So we always just in this cycle where we just kind of become a serfdom nation for whatever reason they want us around, that they need us, that they just want to keep us not unaware.
Yep. Absolutely. There's something they don't want us to figure out. And I'm pretty sure it's how powerful we actually are, right? Because if we knew that and we all got together on the same page, they wouldn't stand a chance. They'd be done. Like, honestly, I think energetically they're done anyways. Once we all get on the same page and just start doing it, I mean, it's already started. It's already started. You know what I mean? There, those of us that, you know, it's like everybody with their businesses, they need to just open their businesses at once. You can't look, if everybody did it at once, like picked a day and everybody opened their businesses at once and said, enough, we're not doing this. The only reason they get away with it is because we submit. You know what I mean? If everybody stopped submitting, or at least those that were awake, right? And the fact that this advanced technology is in the hands of people who are not spiritual is terrible. Like, but if we raise our spirituality and our understanding and our consciousness, right? Like that's the only way I can wrap my mind around us changing things. You get what I'm saying?
Now, do you think they're not spiritual? Because I think they're very spiritual. I think maybe
who are
kind
we
of
talking
a dark
about?
side of spirit. You're saying the people who kind of hold the keys to this hidden technology from us.
Well,
I feel like they're a kind of dark side of spirituality, and they're holding down the light side.
well, maybe yeah, I see your point. So maybe then the word would be service to self. These are service to self people who want to use this technology for selfish reasons and to enslave others instead of trying to free humanity and help the planet and help each other, right? So how do we go up against that, Brad?
I know it's hard.
What do we do?
It's definitely
like,
I don't know, because it's like when you fight the true honorable war, you're always up against people who are willing to do everything and anything, you know, even just in a regular system. Like, you know, look at us. We followed the Geneva Convention, and these other countries that we're at war with are animals half the times, because that's really what warfare is, and it puts you at such a detriment. And that's kind of the same thing spiritually with these people. And I don't know. To me, it's kind of, it draws parallels, and I know it's probably some people will laugh, maybe not Luke Sly Talker, but to me, it really is like Sith Jedi. And I wonder if sometimes I wonder
it all comes down to Star Wars.
It does. Listen, it comes down to Star Wars, but the Sith are very much based on their emotions, and they can be very self-serving, and they use all the sides of the Force, and they had no limitations or nothing. Where the Jedi, they were selfless, and Jedi had no attachments, and they would only use it for light and good. But it's hard to fight against someone who has no limitations when you are trying to do the right thing. But sometimes I wonder if a lot of those tropes were based on kind of real things that
we are the Jedi,
you know, that Lucas might have been a little privy to. I'm starting to feel like a lot of them are a little more privy to the real version of the world than we think.
Yeah. Everything comes down to Star Wars, doesn't it, guys? And I'm not even high. You know what I mean? But it all comes down to Star Wars, doesn't it? We are the Jedi in training.
Yes, thank you, Luke Sly Talker, for your Erodium ignorance.
Where's Luke?
I know way too much about Star Wars.
Our Cloaked Unseen World just put a super chat up. He said, if you knew magnificence of 369, you have the key to the universe. Oh, I see Luke. There he is.
Thank you, Luke was right above that. I thought that was his super chat. I'm so sorry. Our Cloaked Unseen World.
Oh, no.
But yeah, 369, that's what Tesla used to say. Those were the keys to the universe. And
I've been doing that lately too. Like every time I put an emoji in the chat, I put 3 of them. There's something, I have it in my head now. I'm like, Tesla knew it's 36, you know, and I'm like, so every time I go to put an emoji, it feels weird if I put 1 or 2. I have to put 3 of them. Like, is that weird?
That's pretty cool.
Am I losing it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I think you might be losing it now.
You got to start somewhere, right?
Are you asking me for real now?
So yeah, it's good to see you guys. Hi, Bodhisattva. Hi, Elise. Keystone. Oh yeah, there's Luke. I see him now. Hi, Alfredo. Yeah, so I don't know. We've been going on some deep topics tonight, Brad. But yeah, I've been in deep thought lately.
I like letting my head go off, and it's nice sometimes because a lot of these things, a lot of these topics I like because they're not set in stone, and certainly there's room to be wrong because a lot of it's just fun. It's letting your head go. Oh, what if we're this? I mean, I have a lifetime of daydreaming and just pondering what the frig is going on and why we're here and what is this universe. And I could hit on a lot more things than I did tonight, but it's fun. And that's why I love having a conversation like this where everything doesn't have to be 100% sauced and completely right or completely wrong because no one knows. So it's fun, just an exchange of ideas and talking and, you know, seeing what comes out and seeing what other people think. And it's cool.
the events as of lately, you know, like we discussed previously, have forced me to go back inside, which I already know on a cerebral level is the way to go, right? But we don't always practice what we preach sometimes.
And easier said than done.
Right. And I've been doing that lately, and all these profound things have came to me, you know, like this and that. I'm like, you need to be spending more time within, you know what I mean? It just started occurring to me. You've been looking out there hardcore for quite a few years now, you know what I mean? And so I don't know, maybe all this is kind of good in the way that maybe it's having that impact on a lot more than just me. And maybe that's what we need to get a game plan together. Like, you know, like I said, opening the businesses, and how do we take our power back and just start creating this new earth and stop waiting for, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do we, I don't know. And that's why I'm brainstorming with you, Brad. You're a very, very intelligent guy. And the chat, I want to know your guys' thoughts. How do we do this? How do we start, besides what I just said of going inside, you know, how do we start taking decisive action in this dimension around us to begin to just change things in spite of what we see?
Do you think in general, just having an open mind and not being afraid to think about different possibilities or discuss different possibilities can at least push the ball down the field?
Yeah, I think we need to brainstorm just like we did in the last 3 years. Every time we saw a certain thing happen, we'd all start brainstorming and digging it apart and getting in our little group chats and taking it apart. And could it be this? Could it be that? You guys know what I'm talking about. Just like we were doing that, right? Maybe we need to start doing that with our game plan now, right? Like having these group brainstorm sessions. You know, I was chatting I was hanging out on Above Duality the other night. Nicole Frolic was on. By the way, she's going to be on next Wednesday, you guys. Nice. She's awesome. Anyway, we were over there, and a similar sort of topic like this came up, and I noticed the chat started doing that because somebody brought the topic up and was open, and so people started brainstorming, and I think that's how it starts, man. We start having a conversation, you know?
Right. That's that's the mastermind theory, is that it kind of compounds itself. If I understand it, I haven't looked into this in a long time, but basically the idea of the theory is, let's say if you have one person thinking about one thing, right? 10 people by themselves all thinking of things, say they all have a power of 10 each, so you'd have 100. But once they start, if they all were thinking of something together, it wouldn't just be the collective 100. It would be like 50,000, because once you start bouncing off each other, you kind of light up different ideas in other people's brains, and then the other people are all looking at things from different angles, that then you're adding that to yours, and that's putting you somewhere where you would have never gone on your own, and it kind of compounds itself. So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the chat can check me on this, it's called the mastermind theory, and basically I think it should be applied to everything and anything on this planet.
Absolutely. Yeah, it starts with a conversation. We got to become the Jedi. You know what I mean? We were Jedis in training. We got to get to the full Jedi level, right? So how do we get to the Jedi level? I don't know. We start talking.
You probably got to take a land speeder and then maybe a compression elevator.
Hey, we just need one of those little things. You know, we're still driving around in cars. Yeah. It's 2021.
Like savages. What are we, animals?
This is crazy. Speak on it, Brad. Yeah. This isn't right.
How long we got to see the meme? Oh, 2021 we'll have flying cars, and then 2021. Oh, are you wearing 3 masks today? Like, I'm ready for the meme to be the 2021 we'll have flying cars, and then just someone in their freaking flying car.
Right. Hey, I just want to tell everybody I love you guys. Like, all the amazing souls I've met in this movement and have been alongside with these last few years. Like, you're just amazing people, and we're gonna get where we're going, you guys. And you're just amazing, and I'm so thankful for all you awakened, beautiful souls. You know, like, it's just, I love you guys. If I don't tell you enough, or I get too caught up running the tech or whatever I'm doing that I don't say it. I love you guys. You know, I genuinely look forward to hanging out with you and sharing thoughts with you, and, you know, right, Brad?
You're not getting my Bud Light, Alara.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But you
Did
got
I
a Bud
just
Light
date
right
myself?
there?
Did I just make like a 90s commercial reference? I'm sorry.
I made you blush today. I thought that was pretty funny. Even through your beard, I could see it. Yeah.
What are you talking?
Pretty
My beard
impressive.
actually used to come in red.
I like Method's name for you, Bradness, though. I like
Yeah, the
Brad
old
Beard, though. I like that, too.
methods, the method to Bradness. That's
Method
what
to
I named
Bradness?
when I was making this background, actually, when before the first show that I was going to co-host with him. And then I was you have to name things in OBS, and I just named it Methods to Bradness, and I made myself laugh. And then my stream the night before, I mentioned that in my stream. So then the next day during the first episode, people, I guess for my stream, were saying it in there, and it definitely stuck. And he's said it a few times now, but it works. It definitely worked. Like it was just meant to be.
Methods to Bradness. I love that. So I'm going to have to definitely get Streamlabs OBS going, because there's no way that I could keep track of like 9 chats. And then remember you're talking about me going on Twitch too. Like, really? I don't need another chat. How am I going to... I got to get that for sure, because I'm trying to look. I got 2 over here, 1 over here. I'm like, this is I can't be doing this the whole.
So Streamlabs, I've seen different people where they have a chat that's all combined. That's Streamlabs, I guess.
Well, it does it in Restream. I do it kind of ghetto. I use old-fashioned OBS, regular OBS, and then I route it through Restream to get it on all the platforms. It's kind of a mess the way I do it. It's kind of like, like rigged. It's not. I really need to do it in a smoother way. So I'll figure that out, you guys. So, oh, wow, Chris Hawkins. Thanks, you guys, for all your blessings today. I really appreciate that. You just had to say the magic words, huh? I love all this too, Alara. And Brad is fucking awesome too.
Hey,
thank
thanks,
you,
Chris.
Yeah, thanks
awesome
for all the
yourself.
love and support, you guys, tonight. Appreciate it very much. So, what do you got going now, Brad? Where is the Bradness heading into the future here?
The Bradness will be on.
What's the Jedi's
Methods.
plan?
A Jedi is one with the universe. Imagine if I just knew the Jedi code. That would be pretty bad.
Right, cheat code.
One time I may or may not have. Tomorrow I will be on Methods to Madness co-hosting at 2:30 p.m. and that would be 11:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then Friday night I will be on the freaking Friday night show at 9 p.m. And it's gonna be I love those shows, and definitely doing that with Craig is really what broke me into doing live shows. I was a little tentative. I had done a couple interviews at first, but I'd always, it was like a show. I don't know if there's how many musicians out there who actively play shows, but there's always this like adrenaline rush, but also kind of nerves and butterflies that you get right before you go on stage. Yeah. And for me, it doesn't matter how many, but I probably played 100 freaking shows and it never failed. That first song, you're feeling it, but it was like, it's always had to get past that first song. And that's how it was with the live streams with me. The same thing was like, once I had to get 5-10 minutes into it, I felt all right. But now I feel all right from the jump. I don't care. So that was a lot doing that with Craig, and Craig is a consummate professional. If you guys don't watch Reasonable
He's
TV,
great. He's great.
Yeah, Craig is definitely top of the line.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I was saying. That's why it's really cool that the 2 people on my shows with, Methods and Craig, are freaking awesome. So it's easy. It makes me it allows me to kind of relax and be myself.
Right.
And that I think it works. I think it works on both ends with them on their end and with me. So it's a lot of fun. And that's how I do every Thursday and Friday. Now Thursdays at 2:30, Fridays at 9.
And all your I'm going to empty the D Live chest right now while I'm thinking about it before I get, they start coming chasing me down with pitchforks and stuff. Empty the chest. All right, I'm emptying the chest. Yeah. I can hear them in my head too. I'm like, oh no, what did I do? Do I hit distribute reward? Yeah.
Sleeping at night, like empty the chest. I'm just okay. All right. Oh, I'm not.
Right. I'm all sweating. I didn't empty the chest. No, it does. It haunts me like that if I forget to empty the chest. They know. Yeah. They've seen me sweat it. So yeah. I hope you never. You're a blessing. I hope you never stop doing what you're doing. And I'm pretty sure you can find all of Brad's old videos. Thank you, Bradness to Madness, Madness to whatever. I'll let it go.
Alarness.
Alarness. So for those that missed at the beginning, I did do the cat impression. So if you don't do anything else tonight, come and laugh at that, because I'm sure that was slightly entertaining. Maybe not, but maybe it was. Good. All right. So Yeah, so all your old videos, all your masterpieces are up on what? BitChute and under what? And what else? Where?
BitChute and Rumble, both under BradCGZ. But I can I'll put some in the chat because I just made a website at logicalbrad.tv. So,
Hey.
well, I guess I got to put the old, what, I got to put www. So logicalbrad.tv has all my links to everything, and that's still not working. But I mean,
I can put
pretty
it
easy.
up.
Logical Brad.
I can put
Someone
it up.
could just someone could just type that in.
Logicalbrad.tv, right?
Right, and that's got links to all my videos, which have all my old videos, and it's got links to my social media and basically everything. Even if you go to the second page, it's even got links to t-shirts that I've made and my old music, and basically anything that I've had is on there, and I'm going to add some more stuff on there moving forward. So definitely that is where you can find all my old videos. They're all up there. They're all basically BitChute and Rumble, especially Rumble, but almost definitely BitChute too, are pretty much full archives of my old page, and everything is a hot link on there. So anything you want to see,
I want to show them the foxhole real quick. So for those that haven't checked out the foxhole
awesome.
yet, let me show you. So this is the foxhole. We're up live right now in the foxhole, and this is the new chat that they just got going like a day or two ago on the foxhole. So yeah, there's a chat over there now. If you haven't went and checked out the foxhole, check it out. It's pretty cool. All the live shows show up over here on the left with the time that they're going live in your time zone. And you just go to the person's thing, and then you click on this over here, and you can bring up the chat, and this brings up the person's schedule and their links. So yeah. Anyway, just thought I would share that with those of you that haven't checked it out yet. Let's see. So a couple of announcements before we get ready to close the show. SFN will be on Sunday, of course, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. I'm not going to be doing any pre-recorded videos until probably towards the end of the month, because I'm focused on the Great Flat Earth Debate, which will be on February 18th at 10:30 p.m. So that's the return of Conspiracy Couch. You guys wanted it back. We're bringing it back. We're going to have it running through Discord. But yeah, we're going to be having the Flat Earth OGs on, Mark Sargent, David Weiss, chopping it up with me and Foil. And we'll be taking calls from you guys the second half of that show. Make sure and check out Journey to Truth, which is today's Wednesday, right? Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern, he will have James Rink on. So the Secret Space Flannel Month continues. So that's been our thing all month, is wearing flannels. And anyway, I guess it's a weirdo joke, inside weirdness joke. But
how weird.
I don't know. We've all been wearing flannels. Like, I don't know, for some reason, Tyler did the Secret Space Program Month, and then we all started wearing flannels, and then it became a joke, like it's Secret Space Flannel Month. And I don't know. I didn't wear my flannel tonight, though, so I've clearly flunked and not made it. But anyway, so yeah, it has been an absolute treat having the Bradness on with me tonight. You're doing an awesome show. You're kicking butt over there with Methods, and you're doing awesome on your Friday night with Craig Mason, too. So definitely keep doing what you're doing. We can never lose you in this movement, Brad. You're a gem, just like I tweeted on Gab.
You know, likewise to you, and likewise to many I see in the chat here who all do their own thing. Keystone, Loyal to the Foil, Luke Sly Talker, and a great many others. And Blue Eyes and Above Duality as well. And
that's my lieutenant. I'm promoting him up to colonel now, though, because he recently started calling me commander. So I'm going to promote him now to colonel because he submitted and called me commander.
See, got you.
Right? So he gets a promotion.
Hey, you got a raise.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's a great family here, and everyone definitely, it's cool seeing everyone just getting their thoughts out and getting getting their digs out and all the different stuff, and just getting these platforms. And that's also why Foxhole is really important too, because moving forward, that's going to be the one that's the freest forever. So the quicker we all start getting there and downloading that app. And the app comes, you download it literally just by doing the foxhole.app. And you go in there and it pops up on your phone. Or if you just do it on your browser, you don't need to download anything. But that's why it's important to start definitely pushing that. And it's awesome. And I like the other platforms too as well. But for sure, it's cool. Everything that gives us a voice is pretty cool with me.
Yeah, and I'll figure out how to get that chat. I promise you guys, I'll figure out how to get the Foxhole chat routed in with everything else and get it moving, actually functioning smoothly over here. So, yeah, and I know that Methods and the guys over there at Foxhole are working on approving the chat and getting it better too. So try not to give him too hard of a time, please, about the chat, because I know they're working on it and these things kind of take time. So, anyway, yes, this has been super fun, Brad, and I'm so glad that you came on with me. Like I told you guys earlier, Nicole Frolic will be on next week with me. She is lots of fun. I call her Frolly Pop. That's her name. And she even has a hat that says Frolly Pop now. But yeah, so Frolly Pop will be on next Wednesday night. And thanks for hanging out with us, guys. Thank you for all the super chats. And we will see you, or I will see you, Sunday for Space Force News. Good night, friends.
Take care.